I'll find it through yourself. Joe, I'll know.
I'm sorry. You can come over here and talk to me.
We need to just take care of your chores.
Yeah, that's what they are.
Either a time, either something.
I think that's what I made. I get done with this.
See, this is Dwayne and Angela.
My family that I really don't know, but I sit here and I hear them say they all Coley too. I'm happy to see them and her husband. It's really good to see everyone out here. It was fun.
One of the things about running off at the mouth, sometimes you forget people. My niece that just gave a welcome. She just came out of the University of Pennsylvania, the Wharton School. So, see, all my cousins, my nieces and nephews, they're heavy. So I must stay pretty close to it. Some must like to rub off on me. Next on our program, my son will be late today. My son plays for another church. He will be here. I'm going to wait till the sister comes in and gets in that's coming in now. Come on in, sister. Come on in. What are you doing? We almost had another Coley there. In life, as we go along, we struggle, and it's mighty nice to have a helper. And that's in accordance with God's holy word. A wife really is a helper. I haven't figured out who's helping who, but they are a helper. And my wife has given me tremendously help, morally, spiritually, and I'm very grateful for that. Because it's been almost impossible for me to do it by myself. But God in His infinite wisdom gave me a helper, a helpmate, and I'm grateful. And my wife, who happens to be Joan, going to introduce our guest, and then we will go from there. Jean?
Good afternoon. I'm glad to see all of you here. And I would like to introduce our special guest, whose name is also Joan Coley. And she works at the same place that my daughter works. And I'm going to ask her to introduce all the guests that she brought.
My name is Joan Coley, as she told you. This is oh, gee. Let's see, I don't know what to start with that table or then go around or what. Okay, I'll start over here. This is Coy Coley. This is my oldest brother-in-law, and he's from Fremont, North Carolina, but lives here in Philly.
Amen.
This is his wife, Marie. Okay, and this is their daughter, Sheila Coley Johnson. Okay? This is is my husband. This is Randolph Coley. I guess I'm hiding him. Okay. His name is Randolph Coley. Can everyone see? This is Diane Coley Rayfield,
Where is
Philadelphia.
your husband from?
Philadelphia.
Originally?
Fremont?
Our family.
Well, their parents is from, their mother's from Goldsboro and North Carolina, and their mother's from, the father is from Fremont, North Carolina. Okay? You have to remember now, I was just married. I got to remember all these things. Okay. This is her sister. Okay, ready? Okay, this is Claretta Coley Crawford, because she's next to Randolph. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm Crawford.
Okay. Okay. And this is Diane Coley Rayfield. She's oh no, I'm sorry. I'm even missing them. I'm sorry. She comes before her. This is Frances Coley Drake. I'm sorry. Okay. And she's from Fremont. She's from Fremont. She was born in Fremont. Man, I'm all mixed up. Okay. Okay, this is William Coley. Okay. They call him Bill. And he's from Fremont. Okay. And this one is Gil Coley. He's the baby. He's the youngest of them all. You know, of the family. Wait a minute. Be quiet again, Mom. There was 12 of them, 6 sisters and 6 brothers. Okay, well, let me just hold up from it. Wait a minute. And this is his son. It's Gil Jr. This is brother and sister T. Okay, that's it. That's it.
I could not have done it. Was I had met her.
Yeah.
How many years? About 2 years?
Yeah, down there.
Yeah. I went down to a luncheon on.
Health fair, wasn't it? Was it the health fair?
No, I think it was a luncheon
Okay.
on the compound where Joanne works. She works at the Defense Supply Quartermaster. Yeah. And this young lady works at the same place, and they ran into one another and found out that her name was Joan Coley. And I understand that when calls come in, Joanne gets mail, Joanne gets hers, and she gets Joanne's.
Our records,
you know, and we found out.
We had to go to personnel and get our records straight.
Really?
We have the same initial.
Yeah.
Social security numbers started off the same.
Your middle initial is M?
You're right.
Uh-huh. So is mine. And so they have sort of developed a relationship, and when Joanne told them about the family reunion was going to be held here, she was gracious enough to want to join in and ask could she come and bring some Coley's and some relatives. So we're happy to have you all come and join with us. And it's so nice to meet some more Coleys. And we hope you enjoy yourself. Thank you. I think Richard wants to say.
Speaking about Coley, I happened to be in Little Rock a couple weeks ago. And when I went to check in, there was a lady at the desk, and she said, "Do you have any relatives in Little Rock?" I said, "No, I don't have anything in Little Rock. My brother married a young lady from Little Rock, and that's all." She said, "Well, there's a lady that works here. There's a Coley." I said, "Well, how does she spell it?" She said, "The same as Joy." I said, "Well, where is she?" She said, "She'll be in the next day." Well, I met the young lady the next day, and lo and behold, her grandfather was from Goldsboro. So I called Sister from Little Rock and asked her, did she know Pete Coley and Frank Coley? And Sister said, yes. What happened? They left Goldsboro, went to Durham. They left Durham. It was back in the 30s. on a horse and buggy from Durham and went to Little Rock. And lo and behold, I have pictures of those Coleys. And they would like to meet us at our next family reunion in North Carolina. And they're going to have their family reunion in Little Rock next year. And they would like to meet some of us. So lo and behold, we got some relatives in Little Rock.
Amen.
Believe it or not, Jimmy.
Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot two more of our guests. A friend of Joanne's, Karen McIntyre. And this is my first cousin, William Perkins. The family is very proud of because he was the Rhodes Scholar. And we're very proud to have a Rhodes Scholar in our family. And he's been a big help to us, and we're glad to have him here.
And again, just before we turn it over to Sister, and this is still, he go by a different name, but he's still a Coley. Mr. Crawford?
You serious?
Coley done put the whammy on you too late.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh yeah, I just want to say, it's good to come back home. I follow us from Philadelphia, so it's always good to come back home, and it's always good to be around the Coleys. And a lot of you all I met at the time I was courting your niece, so I have a lot of fun memories of being in the Bronx there, having to go through question and answer. But it was fun. Speaking of which, oh, there she is. Okay, I didn't see you on here. Okay.
Yeah, she's here.
Hello. Oh yeah, but it's good to be here.
Thank you. And again, many of you know it, many of you don't. This is Pam. Pam.
She's the oldest.
Thank you.
Okay, so you want me to introduce not now. No, not right now. Okay, when you make your remarks. Okay.
You tell me when.
The next Coley was Rebecca Coley, who has passed on to be with the Lord, and she has a son, and her son is Butch Coley.
No, Taylor.
William Coley. James Taylor. James Taylor.
Coley done put the whammy on you. Go ahead now. Still Coley, I don't have the name. Coley at heart.
James Taylor. This is Rebecca's son.
Hello, everybody.
Of course, the third one down, there were 10 children. The third one down is my husband, that's Arnold Coley.
Don't forget Arnold, just remember Bud.
I think the next one down was Pauline, and she's not with us today. She was not feeling well. The next one down, I think, is Walter Coley. Walter. The next one, I think the next ones are twins. And that's Thelma Coley.
If Ella was born first.
Okay. Oh, I think then there was one in between. This is Shirley Coley. Shirley Ingram. And then the last two are twins also, and that's Richard Coley and Hazel Coley. These are twins. Okay.
Thank you. And we have not finished yet. It gives me great pleasure to present as a remark, first of all, our oldest sister, and I'm not going to tell you how old she will be in November. But I just say is, she had 5 and 6, and the next number you know. Sister, you own the right there.
Not that my feet bother me, it's the sight. The lights is not giving me the right sight to see. So I can see better if I see. But my name is Ruth, and I never was fortunate enough to get a husband, so I'm still Coley. And now at this age, I guess I'll go on to the cemetery. But it's so nice to have everyone here and see as many of my sisters and brothers. And through the years, I remember everyone that's here, I remember very well where I was when they were born. So it's so nice. And they all look so neat. They don't age. I age, but they don't. Now, if I don't age in the face, I age in the head. Lose all the hair, but I'm still here. But I just brought a few remarks of a few things concerning the background of my first, I would say my grandmother and grandfather, my father's side of the family. I never was able to get too much on my mother's side because she was the only child, and so many in her family, they would pass away fast, and I wasn't able to get the background that I was able to get from my father's side, because on my father's side there was 5 boys and 5 girls, and some of them still remained, and I can still get history from them. During the time of the younger days of our lives, it was not interested into us to try to get the background of the family. So my mother's family, they passed on, and my mother was the only child, and a lot of things she didn't remember. So I don't have too much to bring you on my mother's side, but I will bring you what I have on both sides. I have that my grandfather, his name was Walter Coley. He was born December the 1st, 1803. Grandpa died August the 12th, 1933. He had 5 brothers and 4 sisters. I always say that Grandmama and Grandpa, in later years, they had the same sister and brother. Grandpa's mother died, married, and Grandpa's mother died, grandmother's father died, and these two people met and married one another. So the children before them made half-sisters and brothers with Grandma and Grandpa, but with Grandpa marrying Grandma, the children became whole sisters and brothers. So some of Grandma and Grandpa's sisters and brothers was whole sisters and brothers because Grandma and Grandpa's parents had them in later years. I have the names if you all would like to hear some of the names of the Grandpa's brothers. One of them was named Hancock Coley, Tom Coley, George Coley, Elroy Coley, Pete Coley. That's the brothers. His sisters, Nanny Coley, Penny Coley, Missy Coley, and some sisters that I don't have. Grandma's name was Lucratia Bagg before marriage. She was born August the 23rd, 1819. Grandma died May the 13th, 1947. Some of the same sisters and brothers remained Grandpa's sisters and brothers. But she had a brother named Elroy Bagley and a sister named Harriet Bagley. These were born before Grandpa and Grandpa's mama and daddy met. I hope I'm explaining it so you will understand. My grandfather, he owned his own little place in Dudley, North Carolina. The address was Route 2. Box, they don't have it, but Dudley, North Carolina was the address. And Grandpa raised all of his children. Some of them was born, I think all of them was born mostly in Fremont, North Carolina. Then Grandpa, and while they was quite young, he moved to Dudley, North Carolina, and that's where he finished raising my father and the rest of his sons and daughters. And my grandfather had this land, and it was up on a hill. Then he had some land that was in like the lower part of Dudley. When my father got ready to marry my mother, my grandfather built a little home for my daddy down in the lower grounds of Dudley, North Carolina. I was born in that house. My sister that passed was born in that house. My oldest brother, this brother here, was born in that house. And my sister, Pauline, that is not here, were born in that house. The flood would come and destroy everything my father would have sometime. We would go up on the hill and stay with Grandpa until the flood would go away. And Daddy continued to have children, and he told Grandpa he couldn't stay there any longer, that he would have to move where the flood wouldn't come and get him all the time. At the time when Daddy left Grandpa, Mama was carrying the first set of twins, Elma and Thelma. And we moved to a little town called Belfast, North Carolina. And then we moved around December, and Elma and Thelma were born in February. And we lived there in Belfast, and Mom and Daddy had the first set of twins. She had my baby sister, Shirley Mae, and then she had the next set of twins. Then as we continued to grow, the little house got too small. Daddy said, well, we'll move again. And we moved to Fremont, North Carolina. I was going into ladyhood. I was a lady, if you going by age. But I was still with my father, and all of we sisters and brothers were together. We moved to Fremont, right out from Acock Church. And there where Daddy finished raising all of his children. And we all started leaving Mom and Daddy. Then he moved, he built a little house in Goldsboro. And as he began to grow old, the children continued to leave. He moved to Goldsboro. And that's where Daddy passed. 103 Whitley Avenue in Goldsboro, North Carolina. My daddy had 5 brothers and 5 sisters. His sister's name was, I will name them according to the way they were born. The first sister is Aldonia, Richard, Walter, Arnold, Lucrady, Mattie, Margie, Foreman, Tab, and Clara. I can tell you some of them birthday. My father's birthday, May the 4th, 1895. Aunt Margie's, March the 12th. I don't know her year. Uncle Foreman's, September the 12th. Aunt Clara's is February the 5th. The year, I can't tell you. And all of that, then Mom and Daddy had us all, and I've told you of my sisters and brothers. Mom and Daddy had 5 girls, and he had 5 boys. I'm Mom and Daddy's oldest child, and my sister that was next to me is the one that have passed on. And my name is Ruth. The sister passed on is Rebecca. I was born November the 7th, 1921. My sister Rebecca that have passed on, she was born April the 22nd, 1923. And my brother Arnold, he was born, I'm here where I'm not going to give you the years because I got it here, but I can't see that year. He was born, and maybe you don't want everybody to know, February the 18th. My sister that is not here, she was born January the 26th. My brother Walter, he was born April the 14th. My twin brother and sister was born February the 14th. My baby sister was born September the 4th. My twin baby brothers was born February the 17th. And that's the end of this year family that I could get some history on. But when you come again, I have some more. And it's so nice that I'm here, and it's a pleasure that you all came to see me. I used to be cool, but now I got cold. But I'm here.
Seriously, if anybody knows anything about the Coley family, it would be sister. And this is not my comment, this is a comment on what Sister said. As Sister said, we used to live out in the country, so far in the country, it was way out in the country. And I never figured out where Sister would find those white potatoes. We used to put the white potatoes in that little house out there in the backyard. Sister would always go out there and find some white potatoes, and she'd come back and cook them. And I know some of y'all know what, any of y'all know what kush is? Ain't it for cornbread? You fry the bacon and you cook the cornbread on top of the stove. And that stuff is so good. I don't even know about kush. And this folks may not look good, but they're pretty healthy. And the Lord has just been good to us. And what Sister used to do fresh.
His daughter, Sandy, and her husband, we just spoke. My grandson, Carlin, and my granddaughter, Courtney. My son and his friend is on his way, but he had to work last night, so he should be coming in shortly. Anyway, it's just a pleasure to be here and see the family still holding together. That's the main thing about life, is because we can accomplish so much if we stick together. There's going to be some conflicts, but if we can always overcome those conflicts, we can stick together. Under those conditions, we can bring in more Coleys, and I was very grateful for what Joanne has done to find out the Coleys, even though they had some conflict with personnel, and you're going to have that in any organization that you have more than one name. But it's always refreshing to see how many people we can come and bring together and have a sort of camaraderie. We can talk about certain things in a given location, and we know what we're talking about. Just like driving an old mule, you say, whoa. And if you want to go right, you say G, and if you want to go left, you say halt. And those mules knew what we were talking about. So these are the things that we can express whenever we're in a locality where everyone can know what we're talking about. I just wanted to bring those things out and to say how wonderful it is to see everyone here today under the conditions that here in Philadelphia. I was grateful for Bud and Jean to accept this family reunion here in Philadelphia, because I know it's been a problem trying to get all of us to say yes and no. I had a problem with Bud yesterday, and I started not to say it, but I said I would, because I was in Alaska and I did not get the letter that he sent. I called him up and found out where was the location of this place, and Bud said, "You got the letter, didn't you?" I said, "I brought my book here and everything, so I could," but I did not get it, so therefore I just thought I would bring that to your attention in this condition. I was given a chore to do to find out how many family reunions we've had as far as we can obtain, and I have one here. It was at my home, 3728 Dunn Road. That was back in 1966. I have a little place down in St. Mary's County. We had one down there. As far as I can recall, that was 1973. Suitland Citizens Association, year unknown. Newton White Mansion, that's in year unknown. Thelma's House, which was 955 East 230th Street, unknown. And if anyone, as I go along here, if you do know the year, please let me know, and then it can be a matter of record. Sister's Homes at 4011 Paulin Avenue, year unknown. Taser's Home, 30. Anyway, we don't know the year. North Carolina Richards Church, year 1985. Owns Home, 6510 North 10th Street, unknown. Virginia Beach, 1987. Pocono Mountain, Butch Place, unknown. Roars, upstate New York, 1988. North Carolina, 1990. And also we had another one at Thelma's house. We don't know that year. We had one in Goldsboro, Lincoln Housing Project. It was in 1974 or 1975. And at Goldsboro First African Baptist Church, which was in 1978. So that's a total of 13, 14, 15, 16 family reunions that we have come together, and at least to try to express ourselves to one another and look at how much more unity we can instill within us. I think, I'm not sure, but I think I was the one that asked the family, let's have a family reunion when Mama passed away. And I'm grateful for that, having a little foresight and trying to get us together, because this is what it's all about. Together we stand, divided we fall. Thank you.
There's only one wall. That's his son, that's his son's friend. So you're a friend of all of us. Okay.
Well, I am so glad to be here this afternoon to see all the Coleys. And I'm so glad that God spared us to get here today, coming by the highways and byways. it was a pleasure for me to drive here today. And I'm so glad to have my friend with me, Miss Lena Roberts, this morning. We were so enjoyed that we go to church together, but we were still having church in our car this morning. So it was a pleasure. And all the Coleys that I have never met, it was a pleasure to see you today. And all my sisters and brothers, I see sister very often, about every other day. If not, I call her every day. And it's just, and my twin brother and his wife, I see them every day about 7. And it's just a pleasure. But may I say together, today, I always tell my friend, 1 can chase 1,000, and 2 can chase 10,000. If we Coleys pull together, we can chase 10,000. Thank you.
If you had all sisters, all buds, all hazels, you'd really be in trouble.
To see a lot of Coleys, you know, and now it's started moving away, and I don't see too many of the Coleys. I see a lot of Dixons and all like that, but I don't see too many Coleys. I guess everybody's moving out, going someplace else. But I'm glad to be here, and I want everybody to pray for us and make everything get along good and friendly, and sisters and brothers, cousins and all. I want everybody to be happy.
Yes.
Amen. Thank you, Hayes. You're welcome. By the way, I've been struggling. How do you spell that? H-A-Z-E-L?
That's it. Just like a lady.
H-A-Z.
No, that's it. H-A-Z-E-L.
By the way, where Richard and Hayes got their names from, in the hospital, it was 2 doctors. And one was Dr. Richard, and one was Dr. Hayes. And that's where they got their name from, was from the doctor that delivered them. I don't know if they delivered them or what, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Sam. I can talk about Sam, but Sandy. We have one other very special guest. That's Beck's son. That's Butch. He's a mighty fine nephew. There's 2 things I tell y'all about him. That boy sure loves to eat, and he's going to be late all the time. Say something.
What can I say after that? I'm glad to be here, especially all around all these Coleys I know and love. I don't have a mother or father, but I got so many aunts and uncles that I treated as mother and father. But to have all these new Coleys around too, it gives me a lot more inspiration. So it's good to see everybody. I'm glad everybody could make it. I hope we have a nice time. So far, I've enjoyed that program so far.
Until I just stick my foot in my mouth.
That's true, but everybody knows me and they know me. But I want to compliment you and your family on the job that you all have done. Joanne, who I know and love. Talk almost every day, right, Joanne?
I called you back. You can call me.
And I know I haven't been to see you as much, but I still love you.
Thank you.
No matter what happens,
Just let me know when you come into a big party.
But it's nice seeing everybody. I want to publicly congratulate Kim for graduating. Nice job. And also for Angie. Nice job. We're proud of you. All proud of you. And that's basically it. But I just want to speak one last thing for everybody. People that thinking it and don't want to say it. Those who I know really feel the same way I do. I think it's time to get on the field.
Job well done. Some of you, most of our family have hosted the reunion. I have not yet. But for those of you who haven't or have, you know that these things just don't fall into place. There's a lot of time and effort that's spent in getting this together. So I want to congratulate you for doing such a beautiful job, and especially meeting people I have never met before, but when they start talking about Fremont, when we did so much work on those big farms down in Fremont, I have a feeling of kinship with them, because Fremont has a very special place in our lives, because we spent most of our time on the big farm out there from Acox Church. Again, reminded myself that we should not talk too long, I do want to just say this. I think that as the young people get together, and those of us who are older and gray and wrinkled like me, we are mindful of the fact that it is important for us to keep together as a family. Amen. Because as the family goes, so goes the town, so goes the state, so goes the nation, and so goes the world. So we want to encourage you to stick in there and keep the family intact and do all that we can to enhance our family life.
Thank you.
Bud just told me to introduce my family, but this is my wife, Barbara, my daughter, Angela. Richard, he had just started to school. I guess you think Richard stay in school, and according to my wallet, he does. But he could not make it because the schedule was just too tight. He has a little job there in Greensboro. But Richard called me the other day and said, "Daddy, I'm a senior." I said, "Thank God." But hopefully we'll get Richard out of school. And this is my other son, Dwayne. So we're glad to have Dwayne here today. The one thing I just want to say, Bud, for you, Gene and Joanne and Arnold and his wife, Bud, brother and I had this the last 1 or 2 years, and I know what you've gone through with. And I had called Bud a couple of times just to try to encourage him. But we really want to thank Bud for sponsoring this family reunion. I'm going to make this quick announcement because some of you know it and some of you do not. And I'm going to stick myself out on the limb. Back in '88, at the last family reunion, I told you that it was a possibility my job would relocate me to Delaware. And I had prayed to God that this would be a short stay, because basically what I wanted to do is to stay long enough to retire from the company. It is the noise that I can hear from my company. They will be offering me a retirement package within the next few days. If that happens, I will be in North Carolina January 1, 1992.
For allowing me to be here at another family reunion. Don't give me no mind, I do this. I mean, I cried. I guess I've pitched this so closely that I begin to really appreciate everything that I never thought about. All my people whom I love. And I decided to myself that I would never again pass up the opportunity of telling someone that I love them. I can't walk around, yes I do. Just about everybody I tell them I love them, because I do. I find there's no room in my heart for anything but love. And there's a lot of it to be given out because I've gotten a lot. Last year from this family reunion, I was kind of in a bad shape. And when everybody came home, I was very, very uptight for money. The names on those cards were beautiful, but that green inside that card, I cannot tell you what it did for me. I guess that made the old ticker tip that much better. And I would like to say thanks to all of you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate very much all the problems. I know I gave Bud a fit. Poor Bud couldn't get nothing done. He got Sam's Fish Market. He was trying to talk everything. Everything's kind of topsy-turvy because there's been a lot of happening. We got a son that got hit by a car. A whole lot of things. He's all right. God's been good to me. When I tell you that, I mean that. Because I never thought I would be standing up here at another family reunion. Sooner or later, this bond is going to be broken. We're not no spring chicken anymore. I look at all of us and we all have gray hair. I look at the children and I get this big, they're getting at a stage now where I'm saying, gee, that's not my son or daughter or my niece, that's my sister and brother. I get mixed up with my age. But we're not spring chickens. And sooner or later this bond is going to be broken. And I'm going to tell you this, I feel very proud to be a part of this bond. I feel very proud to be a daughter of Arnold Coley and George Allen. Because to me, those were two great and beautiful human beings. We have our problems. We have our little differences. But we are different human beings. If all of us think alike, we're idiots.
Okay? We're bound to have some disagreements, but it don't mean we got to hold it forever. At some point, you just drop it off and say it's not worth it. And you just go ahead on with loving each other. And that's what this Coley Bound is all about. And when I say Coley, I'm going back to Coley. But that means all of us in here, as long as we got even connected with the Coleys, because after a while I think they kind of take over anyway in a way. But it's not a bad thing to be a Coley. I feel very, very proud to be one. And Tati, I think she really wanted to come, but she's not feeling well. Tati really is not feeling well. And y'all still pray for her. But for me, remember how thankful I am to God and to each one of you for the things and the prayers that you put up for me. And I do thank God so very much. People here, I heard this young lady say, is that the same lady that was sitting up here? I'm basically Shirley. And I want to tell you about it. See, I go for heavy duty. They got little hats and things. Bud called me and said he wanted something of Daddy and Mama. See, I go for heavy. I'm not no big, you know. So he said, Shirley, please don't bring the gun. I got my daddy's 12-gauge shotgun, which has to be over 100 years old. And to me, it is more my father than any shoe that you've seen, because you know how there's tape. There was some dogs that was trying to get to his pig, and he got to one of the dogs. He hit him with the gun rather than shoot it. And it hit the ground and broke the handle from the gun. I remember my father sitting there. That was years ago. He put some black tape on there. That tape is still there. I started to send the gun out and have it fixed. As if I have it fixed, it's no longer daddy. I got Mama dirty handkerchiefs that will never be washed. It will never be washed, because that's as close as I can get to my mother. Of course, each one of us has to remember, you cannot take Arnold and Georgiana from us. They are a part of us. So no matter for how many years they've died, there is a certain amount of Arnold and Georgiana right here in me. Right here in me. And even with the gun. But that gun is as close as I can get to Daddy, but so you probably wouldn't get out of Philadelphia. But see, I can cover that. See, I'm going to tell you this. A lot of things people say you can't do. With God's help, you can do almost anything. Ask me, I know. Yo, He continue to be just the way you are. Love me for a little while longer. It ain't going to be too much longer. Because I'm going to love you all my life. I'm going to love every one of you. If we fight today, tomorrow I'm going to drop it. And it's gone. And I'm going to still love you just as much as I ever did. And I do love all of you. Even the ones I don't know. These Coleys that I'm looking at here, they definitely belong to us. They got money. You can look at even how they grade.
I didn't think that camera.
I just don't know, you know, I just don't know what to say. But it was nice meeting, you know, all of you. Because, like I said, I just don't know what to say. It's just, I just always say overwhelmed. Okay.
And you introduce you want to say grace for us.
Okay. Oh, and my brother-in-law, William Coley, he'll say grace first. Okay? Bill?
I've been fortunate enough to gather here, the new Coleys and the old Coleys and the Coleys that are glad to meet one another. Would you please bless the food and bless those that have to travel and those on their way. Amen.
I'm telling you, brother, you sure getting something today. Spot in my head. That's where you is.
Hey, brother. Yeah. You missed the,
Ma, you don't say you can.
Those vendors, I know they're not getting any business stuff.
That's right.
You got them supermarkets.
That's right.
I enjoy it. I
It's great like the rest.
That was actually I see why you don't represent that. Whatever you I am just so happy that you are okay. This is
So much out of that without certain things you can get out without getting involved in taxes. If I can get out those two, get the pension, get the DCP, right. Go down south, get me the job for 4 days. It is. I really, Barbara, she's excited. So I'm hoping now, I'm supposed to be a lady.
I looked up.